In this episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I talk with Howie Mandel all about season 20 of America's Got Talent, where you can audition, and we have a giveaway to send you to the front of the lines for auditions. And Amanda Baez joins me once again, and we talk about all of our favorite movies and maybe music too of 2024. Let's go.
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
Hello, and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I, of course, am Kyle McMahon, and I thank you once again for joining me in this brand new episode of Pop Culture Weekly and the first one of 2025. Amanda, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How was your New Year's?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you do anything fun?
No. I didn't. I just stayed home and watched movies and, just did that kind of stuff.
Okay. And then how was your Christmas?
It was also the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you watch any good movies?
Well, I watched Night Bitch with Amy Adams.
How was that?
It was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list.
So it's like kind of weird looking at it because it's like about a mom who's really going through the pressures of, I guess, society, being a good mom. And it's not normally a movie that I would put on.
Yeah.
But I love Amy Adams.
Yeah.
So I was obviously going to tune in for it. It's about her turning into a dog. Oh. And I kind of like, the weird kind of stuff. So I wanted to see how they would execute that weird plot.
Okay.
And I kind of liked it.
All right. Awesome. All right. So I'll bump that up. I didn't realize that it was about her turning into a dog.
Oh, yeah. It's in the trailer. Like, thinks that she's going, I guess, feral.
Yeah, I thought
being
she
a mom?
was. Yeah, I thought she was a what's it called? Werewolf.
No, okay. They kind of go into that direction, but instead of being a wolf, she's like a dog. You're going to look at the movie, you're going to be like, what the heck am I watching?
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's meant to be taken as seriously.
Okay.
As, some people might think it would be.
Yeah.
But I just think that it was, a different approach to, I guess, like managing motherhood or parenthood in general. And it was just not serious. It was kind of funny.
Okay. I didn't realize that. All right, cool. Did you watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
No.
What? I thought you had tickets.
Okay, hold on. When I went to the Regal app to purchase it, it was gone. Regal didn't, I guess, go through. I don't know. Because I wanted to watch it on the big screen. It was available on Regal. So I look on Christmas Eve, and it's gone. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I swear I was ready. I have the unlimited app. I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it.
All right.
I don't know what happened. I told my sister too because we were going to watch it together, and it wasn't on hers either. So she was like, "Oh, they must have taken it out."
That is so weird.
I was so upset.
Yeah. Now you have to wait a whole year.
Well, I'm probably just going to watch it, just to get it over with.
Okay.
Just okay. I feel like it's time.
It is time. It's well past
That's
time.
what I get for trying to be spontaneous and watch it,
So, Squid Game Season 2 came out, Christmas night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been, watching an episode or two a night. And so last night I was so tired, but I had one episode left and I'd already watched 1.5 episodes. And I'm like, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm too tired. I couldn't keep my eyes open. And then I'm like, but I need to know what happens next. It's the last episode of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up staying up until 4:30 or something this morning and watched it. It is so good. I love Squid Games so much. You haven't watched the new season yet, right?
I haven't. It is one season that I do want to watch because I really enjoyed the first season.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like I didn't expect for them to do a season 2.
I know.
I felt like it was pretty self-explanatory in the season 1. But when they announced that they were going to do a season 2, I was really curious to see how they would execute it. I was thinking to myself, well, what more could they do besides another game? We've already seen this before. What could they bring that's new? But the trailer looked good.
It is so good, and it's really smart how they do it. And season 3 comes out this summer, which is basically like season 2, I feel like is like the first half of the story.
Really?
Of this next chapter of the story. So like season 3, I feel like is the second half of the
so like
next
part
chapter.
2, part 1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more like that rather than like season 1 was, like you said, self-contained. Season 2 ends on a cliffhanger that will...
Oh, really?
Like multiple cliffhangers.
Oh, so it's like a continuation for season 3.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and apparently they filmed season 2 and 3 together.
Oh, okay.
So it's supposed to be like a whole cohesive thing. But it's really, really good. I can't wait till you watch it so we can talk about it because it's, oh my God, I love it.
Are there
so
any
much.
new games or are they all like the same games?
There is a new one. I don't remember one of them being in the first season.
Okay.
And then there's some twists on the games.
Oh no.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's awesome. I love it so much. And now I have to wait until,
The summer.
6 months, 7 months.
Well, it's better than waiting, I guess, 2 years.
Yeah.
Because apparently Netflix is very good for taking
Their
a
grand old
millennia
time.
to
Yeah.
like make a new season.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I have an interview with the one and only Howie Mandel, which will play in the second half of the episode. But you and I are going to start off with the best of 2024, particularly movies. I have a couple of albums, but we're really going to focus on the best movies of 2024.
Okay, good. Because I probably have one album
Yeah.
that really stood out to me this year.
Yeah, I don't have many, but I have a few that I feel like I have to throw out.
Yeah.
So, all right, here we go. The best of 2024 in movies. All right. First of all, wow, what a year in movies.
Oh, definitely.
Well, okay, let's start with...
No, I have a list of like my top 5 that is in order of like...
Oh, in order too?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't put mine in order because I don't know that I can.
No, I can.
Okay.
I can put mine.
All right. So, what is your number 5?
Okay. My number 5 is Twisters.
Ooh.
I loved Twisters.
Yeah.
Last year. And when I first watched it, I was a little bit upset about the tornadoes and not being as, impactful as they were in the first one.
Yeah.
But I looked past it because I thought the storyline was pretty good.
Yeah.
When I watched it the second time, I told myself, this isn't, you're being too critical here. Okay. It is a disaster movie. I understand that. But the storyline, the acting, like everything was just, I don't know. When I rewatched it again, I found new beauty in it.
Okay.
And I really liked it, how everything was executed.
Yeah. It is. And you and I talked about this when it came out.
Yeah, and I think I was hating on it.
Well, you loved it, but you hated it.
I didn't hate it. I hated it. Well, I hated how the twisters and the tornadoes, they weren't massive. Like, in the first movie, those things were big, and in the second movie, they were like little babies. Like, they were like tornadoes on Ozempic, very skinny. I don't know. Like, it was just very, very, like, I didn't feel, besides that opening scene, the opening scene was like the only scene where I was like, oh my goodness, like this is a disaster film, but.
Yeah, it really is a good movie. And it, for me, I saw it in 4DX. I think I told you that.
Oh man, that's what I wanted to do.
It was really cool in 4DX because it was like you're shaking, there's wind blowing in your face, or you're like getting like mist at your face. It was like you're in there.
Cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that was a cool experience. And I do appreciate, like you're saying, how it had more like of a heartfelt story than the first one.
It did.
So it was like, there was more like character development and story development in Twisters, where Twister was like your traditional, like, the story doesn't really matter. Let's just see stuff explode and stuff.
Yeah.
Where this was like, we have some explosive things and we have destructive tornadoes, but like we also have a story here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
That's
have
a good
people
one.
trying to get past like trauma and people trying to like, grow. And It's just, I felt like more connected to the characters
Yeah.
in the sequel versus the first one, which I love the first one, obviously, but I do have to say that, in my opinion, I think the second one has, a bit more, storytelling than the first.
I love that. All right. So for me, now these aren't in any order for me.
Okay.
And I have a top 10. I'll only do the top 5 just to match you.
Okay.
But my full top 10 you can see at popcultureweekly.com or on my Letterboxd. And there's a link, by the way, in the show notes to both my Letterboxd and to the article that has my top 10 films of 2024. But my Letterboxd is Kyle McMahon. Kyle_McMahon. What's yours?
Mine's is Amanda Lis Baez.
LIS, right?
Yeah, LIS.
Okay. All right, awesome. So you can follow Amanda on Letterboxd as well. All right. So my number 5, but again, these aren't in any order necessarily,
Okay.
is Late Night with the Devil.
Okay.
Did you see Late Night with the Devil?
No.
Oh, my God.
I probably haven't seen nothing.
So Late Night with the Devil is so good.
Uh-huh.
And it is, I don't want to say a low budget like in a bad way. It's a low budget horror movie that it's from Shudder, our friends at Shudder. I love Shudder. Shout out to Shudder, the horror streaming service. But it was released theatrically, and I was so excited to see it. It's basically like the whole movie is a live television broadcast from 1977 on Halloween night.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's like you're watching basically this live television special of this talk show on Halloween night.
That's kind of cool.
It is really cool, and he ends up having the host, who is played by David Dastmalchian. I hope I said his name right. Who plays Jack Delroy, the host. He has various guests on his talk show, and one of them is like that brings on like a possessed guest or something, like to do like a possession live on TV, and it goes from there, and it's really, really good.
Wow.
But I am a huge fan of like those kind of kitschy television broadcasts, and it puts you right in that. You feel like you're in the 70s. You feel like you're at home watching this live television show, talk show, late night talk show on Halloween. It's just so
That's a
masterfully
different take.
done. Yeah.
That sounds so interesting.
It really is. It's so good. You can watch it on Shudder, which is amazing if you don't have it. Shudder is the streaming horror service from AMC, and I love Shudder. They have so many good films, not just a great catalog, but they have so many Shudder original films like Late Night with the Devil that are just treats for horror fans. It's also on AMC Plus if you have that or want to check it out. So that would be my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
My number 4, I had to put a Disney movie on here because I love Disney, and I really love Moana 2.
Okay.
Moana 2 was just, first of all, Moana is one of my favorite Disney characters, if not my favorite Disney character. So when I found out that they were going to be doing a second movie from her, I was so excited because I love her story and I love everything that, her story represents in her. And I think that I just relate to her so much. So when I saw Moana 2 in theaters, it immediately was going to be my number, in my top 5.
Okay.
Like I didn't care. This movie's going to be in my top 5 no matter what. Like no matter what they do, I just love her. Like they could never ruin Moana for me.
And was it as good as the first one?
No.
Okay.
But it don't matter. It's Moana. I love the first one. The first one just is so nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
It's just the first one, number 1, has music by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which I love that man.
Yeah.
And he wasn't involved in Moana 2 because I believe that he was doing music for Mufasa.
Which I just saw and I was not a big fan.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard mixed reviews about it. But a lot of people are upset because he didn't do music for Moana 2.
Yeah.
And you can tell. I think there's like maybe 1 to 2 songs that I really enjoyed in Moana 2, but in the first one, it was like bop after bop after bop. And you could really tell that Lin wasn't involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. Like, I'm one of his biggest fans. Like, Lin, I love you so much, bro. Like, I love you. And I was really upset that he wasn't in the second one, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Crime. I've never seen Moana.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
It is such a beautiful movie, and it will make you cry and think about life.
Really?
Well, maybe for me, because I'm just like, I just love the ocean. I love nature. I love Polynesian culture. So maybe for me, it's more like I'm taking it like more seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a movie where it just makes you think about how you can do things with no one supporting you. Because the basis of the movie is that she is trying to become a wayfinder because that's what her people originated from. But nobody wants to be a wayfinder anymore because the ocean is kind of wild. And so she embarks on this journey without knowing anything. She's basically driving without a license, and it's like she goes through so much stuff and she finds herself and she like helps people. And it's a beautiful story mixed in with like Polynesian culture that I've never seen, to that extent be brought to life, which I love. French Polynesia. I love, Samoa. I love all of that kind of stuff. And the people are just so beautiful. And seeing, that culture be brought to life through a Disney character just really touched my heart when I first saw it in 2016. And I never, ever forgot how I felt when I walked out of the theater after seeing that movie. So Moana 2, I love Moana. Like, I don't know.
So are you excited for Moana, the live action?
Oh, yes. I love Moana so much. I'm excited for everything that is involved with her. When I went to Epcot in 2023, they were building the Moana Journey of the Water experience. And I was close to tears because I wanted to go see it so bad.
Aww.
And it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know. And I see all these things about it, like, because it's open now. I want to go so bad. That would be the first place that I go to because I don't even know what I would do if I was to go there. I feel like I would just be so overjoyed because I just love that character.
It's interesting because when I was at Disney last month, I did not do Moana Way of the Water or whatever it's called.
Oh my goodness, you should.
But I am going back and I will now. I'll watch Moana now for you.
Well, I love it. I feel like I also really like it because I'm a big ocean advocate. Like, I love the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, I love... Since I was a child, I've had this fascination towards the ocean where I just, want to study, the ocean and be everything, scuba dive and do all this stuff. So, like, seeing her character felt like watching me on the screen, like how much she respected and how much she was, like curious and how much she appreciated it. The ocean, I was like, that's literally me. That's literally me. So I was like, it was like seeing me on the screen, as cheesy as that sounds.
No,
but
I totally
was like,
get it.
I was like, this is just such a cute story, and I don't know, I just love that. So Moana 2 was definitely one of my highlights for this year. Even though a lot of people didn't, take a liking towards it because of the music. For me, the music is a big part of Disney, but I like the storytelling also.
Yeah.
And I feel like the storytelling did make up for it.
Okay. All right, cool. So you have sold me on Moana 1, so I will watch it. It took me years to see Coco. I told you I just watched it.
Coco is I feel the same way about Coco. Like, I love Coco.
Yeah, me too.
Like, Miguel, Hector. Yeah, when I first saw that movie, I was a wreck.
Yeah.
I was a wreck, man.
Yeah, it's like one of my all-time favorite movies ever now.
No, it should
so
be. It's so beautiful. And the meaning is so beautiful and just everything. The visuals is so beautiful. Like, and I feel like Miguel is somebody that a lot of people can relate to as well because, people have, issues with their family and pursuing what they want to do. So it's like, a movie where I feel like a lot of people could see themselves in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so beautifully done. All right. So next up for me is, and again, this is no order, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
I'm a huge Marvel Studios fan, and I love Ryan Reynolds. I love Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. To have them together in a Marvel Studios movie, in a movie from Marvel Studios, in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was like a dream come true for me, and I absolutely loved it.
That was my number one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was my number one. So it was like Deadpool Wolverine was my favorite movie that came out in all 24.
Yeah.
Like that movie, I watched that movie in theaters with my sister, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so freaking funny.
Yeah.
Like it was just everything that I ever thought a movie about those two characters could do.
Yeah.
It was done.
Yeah.
It was done amazingly. And I was like, hey, this movie is like, I think this movie is my top. Like, I don't know. Like I was making my list and I was thinking about the movies that I had the most fun watching, the movie that I never felt bored in, and that, you know, Deadpool Wolverine, that's my number one.
Yeah, I actually saw it twice in like 24 hours. I saw it the Thursday when it came out or whatever, you know, at 7 p.m. or whatever. Then I drove to Tennessee because I go every month to visit one of my best friends, Cody, who's out there for a job, and drove to Tennessee, get up with him, and he first thing I do when I get there is like, let's go get food and then go see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, I saw it last night. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, no, I want to see it again. Let's go. You know what I mean? And I had just as much fun the second time.
Yeah.
Like, it is so, all the things that you said are so true. It's like, it's just smart. It's funny. It is exciting. It's like what a big Hollywood blockbuster should be for me, you know? And there's so much Easter eggs, as there always is for MCU movies, but especially for this.
Yeah.
Especially with like it's kind of like a love letter and a goodbye to the Fox X-Men Marvel movies. So it's like, you know, shutting down that as it opens up the door for them in the Marvel Studios movies. It's just so good. I love it so much.
And I think it's just refreshing because very rarely do movies have humor like them.
Like those, yep.
You know, and I love that kind of like dark, sick kind of humor.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, they make it work so well, and it's just so funny because it's not done a lot. So when you do find a movie that is not afraid to, you know, tell jokes that, you know, are not really told, it's extra funny, and it makes it more like, oh my goodness, like you guys really did that, and it works because your character is literally, you know, like that. So it's just, I don't know, it's just so refreshing to find a movie that is like that, and also with two characters that everyone loves, including myself. It's like, I don't know, like that movie would be movie of the year in my book. Like, I don't know, like, that movie is just so freaking good.
It's, I mean, if I had to place them, especially going by like how much fun did I have at the movies in regards to like watching it on the big screen, and it would be that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I really did love it. And the Madonna sequence with Like a Prayer.
Oh my goodness.
Is just genius.
You know, let me tell you something about Marvel. I was a massive Marvel fan for the Infinity Saga. Listen, every single Marvel movie that came out, I was front row up until like Endgame. And I don't know what happened in Phase 4. I really don't know. And, you know, there's been a couple of like shows and movies that I've watched where I do enjoy. You know, I liked WandaVision. I liked Agatha all along. But nothing really like gave me the chills or like an Infinity Saga, you know? Except for Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
When I walked out of Deadpool Wolverine, I felt like my Marvel fan was awakened.
Yeah.
Like, as stupid as that sounds, like, it felt like old times.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't know if it's because these characters are like, you know, associated with the old times or what, but I just haven't felt that like connection or that like interest in Marvel with this, you know, recent phase, except for like Deadpool Wolverine. When I walked out, I was like, this is Marvel's back. Like, I don't know. I was just so excited. Like, I don't know. I was so happy.
Yeah, the whole sequence with Like a Prayer, I just think it's so genius.
Yeah.
Like, just how they married that song, which is an iconic song, and the I feel like, you know, it's not really spoilers at this point because I feel like everybody's seen it,
you should have watched it by now.
Yeah, it's just genius the way they marry Like a Prayer with the action that's going on screen, and like you're just like
the camera work,
exactly.
like the spinning. Oh my goodness, I couldn't.
Yeah, it was incredible.
It was an outer body experience.
It really
I was
was.
like, oh my, no way is this happening right now. Oh my God.
Yeah, I loved it. So, all right, cool. Well, what's your next one?
Okay, my third one. I'm going to get so much hate when I say this movie because everybody hated this movie. But my third one that I liked it was Joker 2.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't even seen it.
I loved Joker 2. And I know everyone's going to hate me for it because everyone hates this movie. But as for me, in my household, I loved it. I loved Joker 2. Let me tell you something. That movie was so good to me. It was a musical, which I wasn't fond of, I will admit. But I'm not going to make that my whole personality.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to be like, it's a musical, bye.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to be open-minded. And I'm going to look at it and think, okay, what are they offering me here? And I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had no problem with it. The songs weren't even that bad, in my opinion. And I'm going into Joker 2 with my sister. I watched all my movies with her. And we both see, like, the terrible ratings. Everyone's hating it. And we're like, I'm not even excited to see it no more. And we're going in there just to watch. Like, we're so discouraged. Like, you know, it's starting. And then we're just like, what the heck is this? Like, whatever. And then the first song plays. And I'm listening to it. And I'm looking at the scene. And I'm looking at my sister. And I'm like, it's kind of good. Where's the bad? And, my sister's like, it's probably coming. Don't worry about it. So we're like, expecting it to get bad, but it's like, it's good. I'm like, I don't understand the hate towards it, but I understand that people, they really are particular about their superheroes and their supervillains. So it's like, I get it, but I was looking at it as a way of like, it wasn't about Joker. It was more so about Arthur Fleck, who was portrayed as Joker.
Yeah.
So I don't understand if people thought that it was going to be a movie about Joker or like, him embracing it to the full, but I went in there expecting it to be a movie about Arthur Fleck, and that's exactly what it was.
Okay.
It was more so geared towards Arthur Fleck and like his life and why he did what he did in the first movie and his trial and everything. And that's what I expected. I was like, okay, Joker is, part of him, but I think that this movie is going to be about, just Arthur just going through, what he went through and explaining why he did what he did, and that's exactly what it was. But I loved it. I don't know. The storytelling was good to me. I love the trial scenes because I love trial stuff. Like I love like jurisdiction stuff. So it was, and I love Lady Gaga. So I was like, I love Lady Gaga. Everybody hated her, but I loved her. I love you, Lady Gaga. Don't worry.
I love Lady Gaga. I loved the Joker, the first one. I don't know. I was just like, meh. I don't know. But you're so passionate about it that I'll watch it now.
You're probably going to hate it. Like, everyone hates it. Like, I don't know. I liked it. But then again, I'm not like a big DC fan anyway.
Me either.
So it's like, I know that people take the Batman and like the Superman.
I do love Batman.
And the Joker stuff like so seriously. Like, they're like very, very protective of these characters. So I can understand why they may be a little bit upset or a lot upset with how a certain character that they love is portrayed. But I feel like it was more so a story about a guy who was just really lonely and depressed.
Yeah.
And that's what I went into the second movie thinking it was going to be about, not really,
like a superhero or villain movie.
Yeah, because, like, I'm not going to lie. If I went into the movie thinking it was going to be about Joker, like, the Joker, I would have hated that movie.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, this movie is ass, but I don't know. I thought it was going to be about Arthur, and it was. And I was like, this is a sad story, This is just like a sad drama.
Yeah.
But I like sad dramas.
Right.
So it's like, okay. But yeah.
All right. Well, you've convinced me on that one, too.
No, you're going to hate it. But no,
Moana and Joker. Joker. How do you say it?
Oh, I don't know. I just say Joker, too. A lot of, like, I'm looking at my list, and all of my movies that I like, except for Deadpool Wolverine, are all sequels. Twisters 2, Moana 2, Joker 2, and my next one's going to be a sequel.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, the year of the sequels. I normally hate sequels. So I'm like really surprised to see me writing this heavy for sequels.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you mine, and I wonder if my next one, and I wonder if it's going to be your next one. Inside Out 2.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh.
It's not.
I haven't
watched it. No. I haven't watched it.
Have you seen Inside Out 1?
Yes, I have.
Oh my God. Did you like it?
I loved it.
You've got to see Inside Out 2.
I know it's that movie where it's like I'm gonna watch it soon. I never watched
so
it.
good. And Anxiety is like the new character.
Mm-hmm.
In
I know
Inside
the
Out
new
2.
characters.
Yeah, well, that's like me.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally the anxiety character.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the purple one.
The mopey one?
Yeah.
I forget.
The new one.
Oh.
The purple one.
Yes.
I feel like the purple one would be me.
And new.
Yeah. Yeah, he just always, or they, I don't know, it's a boy or girl. She just always seems like, just getting through life.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's my motto. Just getting through life.
Less I.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I just loved it. It expands, obviously, the world of Inside Out. And then it is so beautifully done. Like, it's beautiful to look at. The story is so tight. It's hysterically funny. You care about the characters. You care about the emotions, literally.
Yeah.
And it's just so amazingly done that it's absolutely one of my favorites of the year.
Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of good reviews on it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard many bad reviews, if not any at all, from the people that have watched it.
You've got to add that to your list. So now you have Christmas Vacation.
Oh my goodness.
You have Late Night with the Devil, and you have Inside Out 2.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Get to getting. What's your next one?
Okay. I'm very passionate about this movie.
Okay.
Smile 2.
Mm.
I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. There is not a movie that had me more obsessed besides Deadpool Wolverine than Smile 2.
Really?
Yes. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh my goodness. That movie messed me up so bad. Like, I love psychological thrillers and horrors. And Smile 2 in particular was just one of the movies that I watched in the theater where I literally was just, my Apple Watch was telling me to breathe every 5 seconds. Like, I don't know. I just love that movie. First of all, I love Naomi Scott. Naomi Scott's acting performance in that movie had me in a chokehold. Like, she just looked so terrified, and she just portrayed that emotion so well. I don't know. I have never seen her act that way. She needs to win something. Like, when that movie ended,
Don't tell me.
Oh, no, I'm not. When that movie ended, I was like, if she doesn't win something, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to email. I'm going to have to start a movement. I'm going to have to, I don't know what I'm going to do. But if she does not win something for that acting performance, why? Like, that movie was just so freaking good to me. And I don't know, like, that was definitely one of the highlights of my year.
Okay. So, obviously, you saw Smile 1.
Yeah.
And
which I actually didn't like that much.
Interesting. Okay, so I didn't love Smile 1 either. That's why I didn't see Smile 2.
No. Okay, listen. I get it. Smile 1, it wasn't that good. Let's be honest. But when people say that Smile 2 was better and scarier, no, it is true. Because I went into the movie theater thinking the same thing with Joker. I was like, okay, I didn't like Smile 1. Like, I'm not going to like this one. No. This movie does a whole 360. Like, it is so freaking amazing the way that they told this story. The story is more, in depth. I don't know, like, it's very interesting because Sky Riley, the main character, she's a pop star. And she's a pop star that has this curse, so it's like she's trying to manage her tour life and, her fame while going through this, which I feel like is such a unique take versus like a regular person. Like, no, this is a influencer. This is like an icon in the society that she's in. Yeah. So it's like she's very well known, and it's like she's spiraling out of control, and it's like, I don't know, like when she does things, you're more like, oh my God, how's the public gonna react to that? Versus like if a random person wants to do it. You're like
invested because of the angle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is a unique angle.
Yeah, and it's like so freaking interesting how she did it and how Naomi Scott portrayed a character. I don't know. It was just, I love that movie. I watched it like 3 times, and I'm still in awe of her performance. But it's good. You should watch it.
I actually
like
will.
Tonight. Like, watch it.
Okay.
Like,
it's that good.
To me.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And the music is great too.
All right.
Because they actually has like have you seen Trap by
Yes, M. Night Shyamalan.
So you know how Lady Raven has like songs and
Yeah.
stuff like that? It's the same thing. So Sky Riley has songs also that I really like.
Okay.
You know, so she's like a little pop girl. You know, and she kind of reminds me of like a Lady Gaga. So she's kind of like spunky and she has like cool outfits and like her aesthetic is kind of cool. So it's like the music is good, you know, very pop, very like 2000s kind of vibe. And it's like her style is just so like rock star kind of, like, I don't know, like she's just such a cool character.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. I was just so invested. I don't think I've ever been that invested in a single person storyline in a movie in a while.
Oh, that's dope.
Honestly.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
I love that. All right. Well, I'm adding that to my list now too.
Yeah.
All right. So next up for me, Longlegs.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh my God.
But I hear that my friend watched it and she really liked it.
It is, I don't want to say straight up terrifying. It's terrifying, but not in like your typical horror way. It's more terrifying, like unsettling, disturbing, sticks with you. You know, Friday the 13th franchise, like I'm a huge Jason Voorhees fan and a huge Michael Myers fan. But like for me, those end, the scariness ends when the movie ends. Longlegs is like, ew. It's just that type of thing that, first of all, I didn't know that Nicolas Cage was in it. It was, I want to say.
Isn't he the villain?
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He does not look like him at all.
Yeah.
The makeup is crazy. And it was like when I left that I'm like, the actor, whoever that was, sounds familiar. But I know that voice, but
you couldn't put it together.
So then when I looked and I'm like, wait, no. You know, and then I like Googled it more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is him? Holy crap. It is, you like true crime stuff?
Oh, I love true crime.
So it reminds me of like a fake true crime
thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of vibe, but it's very unsettling. It's very disturbing. It's very, is he outside my window? You know what I mean? Like, is he like
a real person?
In real life?
Yeah, no, like he's a serial killer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so is it like a real person?
Oh, yeah, it's not like a ghost or something. Yeah. You know, it has to do with the occult. And this FBI agent is kind of following these kind of clues that he's leaving for her.
Oh, he's leaving them for her?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
It is.
So it's nothing like supernatural. It's just basically like true crime, like a real person.
Kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Because I thought there was some sort of supernatural aspect to it.
I mean, not that I remember.
Okay.
And it's written by and directed by Osgood Perkins, who's like one of my new favorite creatives in the industry. He has directed and wrote Longlegs. He did an episode of The Twilight Zone back in 2020. Gretel and Hansel. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh my God. Wait. I literally just watched a Hansel and Gretel movie.
Was it Gretel and Hansel?
No. I think it was Hansel and Gretel. It was like it was stupid. It was like a 2008.
Oh, no. This is 2020, and it's very creepy and weird and disturbing.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a good one, Gretel and Hansel. But he directed that.
Okay.
And he's also doing The Monkey, which is coming up. I think that comes out. It does. It comes out in February.
Oh, I've seen the trailers for that.
Yeah. He wrote and directed that based on a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
And that looks really crazy. But he's one of my favorite up-and-coming directors. I really love him. And if you are into true crime, if you're into horror, if you're into serial killer stuff, it is really, really good.
That's everything that I like.
Yeah.
Literally everything I like.
Yeah. You will love Longlegs, and you've got to watch it.
Okay, I'll add that.
What's your next one?
That was it. It was Deadpool Wolverine, my number one.
Oh.
So I already did my top 5.
Okay. Well, my last one, and again, in no order. I mean, I would say Deadpool and Wolverine if I had to pick a number one of the year. But my last pick is Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
everyone's talking about that movie right now. It's like every time I log into social media, somebody's talking about it.
You have got to see it. It is so good. It's a essentially shot-for-shot remake of the silent film from like what, the
1922.
Was it 1922?
Mm-hmm.
Look at you with your
It's because I saw it on Letterboxd, the original one, and I was like, who's this? And it was 1922.
It is like a shot-for-shot remake of it, but it kind of expands the story in some ways, and it's gothic horror. Mm-hmm. And the actual original silent film was basically a knockoff of Dracula. In fact, there was like the Dracula story.
Yeah.
And in fact, there was some kind of scandal where they were like, you're basically ripping off Dracula.
I've heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. So this one is done by Robert Eggers, who Robert Eggers is like another one of my new kind of up and coming favorites. I mean, I'm saying up and coming. He's been doing stuff for 10 years, but he did The Witch, which I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Oh, that's crazy. The Lighthouse with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
Oh, that's another good one. The Northman, which is great. That's more of an action-y film. And then Nosferatu. He is insanely talented. He's one of my favorite directors and writers. And Nosferatu is just like a love letter to not just classic horror, but it's a love letter to like gothic horror. It's a love letter to classic horror. It's a love letter to vampires. It is so beautifully done and insanely good that, oh my God, it's just so good. Bill Skarsgård, who, he's Pennywise.
Yeah.
And I love him. He plays Count Orlok, who is the vampire figure in the film. And basically it's about this real estate agent in the 1830s, Thomas, who travels to Transylvania to meet with Count Orlok, who is essentially going to be maybe his client. So Count Orlok is interested in buying property. And so he's a real estate agent, so he goes there to discuss with him about buying this property.
Okay.
And it goes from there, and I screamed 3 different times in the theater.
No way.
Like a little biatch.
No way.
Yeah. I was like, ah! Like 3 different times.
Oh my God.
It is really scary. And people online are talking about Count Orlok's dong. I don't know if you've seen this.
What?
Yeah. Because there is a scene.
The only things that I've seen on social media is the main character girl just having seizures. That's it.
Oh, okay. That's
all
Lily
I've
Rose
seen.
Depp.
That's all I've
Johnny
seen.
Depp's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I've seen is just like people making memes of her.
Yeah. Here is Nicholas
God.
Hoult with, I
What
guess,
the heck?
a cutout of the dong. I don't know. It's not even his dong, so I'm confused about that. And Andrew Taylor Johnson is in it, who I absolutely
love him.
Yeah. I love the whole cast. Willem Dafoe is in it. Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Willem Dafoe is in it, who he's amazing. He plays a great character too. It's just so good that nom 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 nom.
Why is it called Nosferatu?
Nosferatu is the Romanian word for vampire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. I love it. That's one I'll be buying on 4K, like the Blu-ray.
Really?
4K. Yeah, because it's one that I'll want to watch on a 80-inch screen with surround sound in my house in like the best quality possible. Like it's that good. So that is my last choice.
Didn't you have like 5 more?
Yes, but they are exclusively on the blog and on my Letterboxd.
Okay.
Because,
Why not?
Exactly. Why not?
Go find it.
Exactly.
Go find it, guys.
Now, quickly, then I have an interview with
Howie
Mandel.
Yeah.
A few albums.
Oh, I just got one.
Okay.
I just got one
What's
album.
yours?
Post Malone's F1 Trillion.
That was on my list.
That is it.
Hey.
End of discussion. That is album of the year. I don't care what no one says. Post Malone, F1 Trill. I actually had a dream about Post Malone last night.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a dream he was my brother. It was so weird. I had a dream he was my brother. I don't know. Like, I love Post. You know me and Post Malone.
Yeah. And I love him too, but that's on my list too.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 4 albums on my list of best albums of the year. F1 Trillion, Post Malone.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly the expanded edition, the long band edition.
Oh, always.
Has like the extra 9 songs. Or
Always.
because sometimes when people have like, oh, here's an expanded edition with 10 new songs, it's like filler.
Yeah.
Every song on the long bed version is awesome too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So love that. GNX by Kendrick Lamar.
Haven't heard it.
Mustard.
I must be getting old.
Okay, well now I feel like an idiot for doing that.
I don't.
You have no idea what I'm talking about?
No.
The memes with mustard?
No, I don't. What memes? I guess I'm too old for this.
What? I'm older than you.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you not like Kendrick?
I mean, I've never really listened to him like that.
Really? Oh, I think he's a musical genius.
Yeah.
So I love
I've listened to a few songs, but like, you know, it's not like an artist that I ever got really into.
Okay. All right. So I can see that then. So me screaming mustard.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So Mustard is one of the producers of the album.
Okay.
So in the middle of one of the songs on the album, he just screams mustard for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
So it became like a meme because
Yeah.
people were like, mustard. But anyway, the other one for me is Kylie Minogue, Tension 2, which I really do love Kylie Minogue. And I think it's criminal that she is not she's like huge everywhere in the world except for America.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that song, Padam Padam?
Yeah.
So that was off Tension 1 last year.
Okay.
Well, I guess 2 years ago now,
Yeah.
2023. Tension 2 has a bunch of bops as well. And I love that, like, it's not often you see like a direct sequel to an album as the next album.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not often you see a direct sequel to an album anyway, but then to like have one that comes out, their next album is a sequel to that last album.
I probably have like a few artists that are like that.
Like have
like sequels to the albums.
Yeah, I mean, it does happen, but like it's not super common.
No.
But then it's definitely not common to like, oh, I released Tension 1 in 2023 and then I released Tension 2 in 2024.
Like
you know what I'm
back to
saying?
back, yeah.
Exactly. So on Tension 2, there's this song Lights, Camera, Action, which is really great.
Mm-hmm.
And then this song My Oh My with Bebe Rexha and Tovlo.
Oh, I think I've heard that song before.
Yeah, that song's a bop.
Yeah.
And so I really, really love that album. So that's on my list of best albums of 2024. And then Sia released her album Reasonable Woman.
Mm-hmm.
It was her first solo album in 8 years. And I love Sia as a writer, as a songwriter, as a producer, as a singer. I mean,
she has a good voice.
She is amazingly talented. And that's like why I think I love her so much, is because not just is her voice incredible, but she's an incredible writer. You know, she's just such a creative person. And so I feel like this album, Reasonable Woman, didn't get like its props like her previous albums did. Like it kind of like fell through the cracks, and that's so criminal to me. But I love her, and that album is awesome, and I'd been waiting 8 years for it, and it finally came. And so Reasonable Woman is my fourth and final top music of the year.
There you go.
Now, finally, and I'm totally putting you on the spot for this, was there any TV that was your favorite of the 2024?
I really liked House of the Dragon.
Okay.
The Game of Thrones prequel.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed Agatha All Along.
So mine was going to be Squid Game Season 2 and Agatha All Along.
I loved Agatha All Along.
It is so good.
That show, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Chills.
Yeah.
Chills. Like, I just love that show so much. And I don't know. I love Agatha as a person. Like, her personality is just so funny and so quirky. You know, like, she's just... There is no woman in the MCU that's like her.
No, not at all. And she doesn't break the fourth wall as much as Deadpool does, but she reminds me of like a witchy female Deadpool.
Yeah.
With like that same kind of
humor.
Exactly.
And personality.
Yep. Yeah, I love her. So, Catherine Hahn, nobody could have played Agatha as well as she does.
No one.
And I can't wait to see what happens with her in the MCU going forward.
Me too.
I love Agatha all along. I love the whole thing. It was so smart. It's my second favorite MCU show along with WandaVision.
We're the same person.
Yeah.
Because WandaVision's also my first. And then Agatha all along is right in second.
Yep.
I just love... Well, I feel like I have an emotional attachment to Wanda because she was the one... The Maximoff siblings were the ones that got me into the MCU.
Okay.
So I got into Marvel because of Age of Ultron. I really liked it, the twins.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I've loved Wanda since Age of Ultron. And
Back when she had an accent.
Back when she had an accent that I am still so bitter and pissed that they don't let her do anymore. Oh my God. Because I feel like Wanda is such a menacing character that her accent would make her like 10 times more like scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, but here she's talking like a suburban mom. No. Like, give me the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
But I don't know. Like, Agatha all along, just everything was just, the storytelling was just so good.
Yeah, it really was.
I just loved it. And I love Aubrey Plaza too.
Oh, she's amazing.
So freaking amazing.
And from
Delaware.
Yeah.
Everybody was just so good.
Yeah.
Casted in this show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even Patti LuPone.
Yeah.
She was like,
oh my goodness, belting out those notes.
Yeah. Every even the lady from that 70s show, I forget her name. She was like the garden neighbor. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Mrs. Hart.
Yes, Mrs. Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, yeah. It was just, I love that series, and I can't wait to see what they do next.
Yeah,
with all of those characters, to be honest. So, all right, we're gonna take a break, and then I have an interview with the one and only Howie Mandel. We'll be back in 60. All right. So that was our best of 2024 movies, a couple of albums and a couple of shows. I'm excited to talk to Howie Mandel. Do you watch America's Got Talent?
Yeah, every season. I started when I was young.
How can you not? Like, you know, there's so many talented people in America. And I heard that Howie might have something for us regarding auditions. I don't know what that's about, but I'm excited to find out. So let's jump right into my interview with the one and only Howie Mandel. How are you, Howie?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So you are preparing for auditions right now for the 20th season of America's Got Talent, right?
We're looking to get people to audition. There are certain live dates that they can go and show up and do and show the producers their wares. Or if they can't make it from now till February, if they record themselves, they can send a tape in to agtauditions.com, and they'll be seen, and hopefully they get on the show, and then I get to judge them, and then they get to be the winner and get $1 million.
I love that. You have been kind enough to give us 3 passes to front of the line for auditions, right?
Right. So if you think you have what it takes to be on the next season, you guys are giving away front-of-the-line passes for the online audition taking place on January 24th, where you'll virtually meet an AGT producer, the person who makes the decision of whether you're going to get on the show or not. You know, listen, every year tens of thousands of people audition, so they kind of weed out what they believe is worthy. And what could be worthy is anybody, any age, doing anything. You know, we're not just a singing or a dancing competition. It could be anything. You know, there was a guy by the name of Horse a few years back whose thing was he could get kicked in the nether region. He didn't win the show, but he ended up with 6 episodes on MTV that was like a Jackass show. A lot of these people go on and do things, and if nothing else, raise awareness to who they are and at least start a career. You mean only one act per season wins the $1 million and becomes like the janitor last year, Richard Goodall.
Yeah.
Goodall. But a lot of people go on. If you go down the strip in Vegas, every second hotel, the room is an AGT name, and not necessarily somebody who won. You know,
right?
If the Magic Dragon has his own room, he didn't win. He's funny. He does magic. He's been playing there forever. Jabberwockies. I don't know if people realize that they were also AGT contestants.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you do. You got to just give it a shot.
And who do you?
And in fact, Richard Goodall is now not only a $1 million winner, and his life has changed forever. He's opening for me.
That is awesome.
I do stand up. I'm touring now. If you want to know where I am, go to HowieMandel.com. I'm touring a lot with Arsenio Hall.
Yes. And your tour, you're hitting all across the country. You're going from California to Jersey to Maryland and everywhere in between. Yeah.
And if you want to come see me on tour, don't bring the kids. It's not the same as AGT or Deal or No Deal, which starts again in January, because it's not network TV. So I don't really edit myself.
Right.
You know, so it's definitely adult fare. You know, and then it's also adult fare on my podcast. I do a podcast with my daughter called Howie Mandel Does Stuff.
Yes, I love it.
Your podcast, you should subscribe to that. Or I do one with Harlan Williams, too, called When a Stranger Calls.
And what do you love about doing the podcast? It's just Howie uncut, doing whatever he wants to do?
I like that, you know, I get to sit with my daughter and meet people and hear things, and things happen. It kind of is uncut. Dana White walked off. I'm still trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
Billy Corrigan last week told a story he's never told anybody that made headlines all over the nation about him and Bill Burr may be related. I don't know what that's about. We have a lot, you know, people come in. Michael Bublé came in and jammed with my band. Sonny and the Black Pack is a band that I found on TikTok. There's now our house band at the podcast. Like, anything could happen. There are no rules, no rhyme, no reason to whatever happens. We just have a good time, and I get to sit with my kid.
Yeah, and it's a bit different than network television, right?
It's nothing like network television.
And do you like that, you know, with your career, you do so many different things, from the live experiences on the tour to AGT to the game show to the podcast to all of the things that you do. Are they all just different outlets for different parts of Howie Mandel, the creative?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, first and foremost, I'm a stand-up, and that's what I do. And then Howie Mandel, the stand-up, gets to host the show, gets to judge a show, gets to produce a show, and gets to sit with my kid and talk about the show. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. And I got to ask you about Bobby's World. That was such an integral part of my childhood, and I just love it so much. And you had talked at one point about trying to bring it back. How does that stand today?
I'm still trying. If you hear of anything, I'm always in talks, and there's always people talking to me about doing things. I have a band on my podcast, Sonny and the Black Pack. We're gonna try to release an album of weird nursery rhymes with Bobby. But I'm always working on that, and hopefully something will come to fruition soon.
Yeah, I will be the first in line to watch that. It's just such a amazing show that we need a revival of it, especially today. For you, for AGT, what do you typically look for? Like, because you do see so many kinds of acts, but you also come from stand-up. Do you feel, you have a soft spot for stand-up, or are you able to say, hey, you're amazing, I want you as a singer, or whatever?
Well, I have a soft spot for stand-up because I don't think that people realize how much goes into that and how great it is that you can walk out in front of thousands of strangers and millions of people online and make them laugh after you follow somebody who's been hanging, 30 feet in the air and lighting themselves on fire. It doesn't look like it compares, but it kind of feels the same.
Yeah.
But what I look for is to be surprised. I look for hearing and seeing something that I've never seen before by somebody you wouldn't expect to do it in a way that's never been done, in the way that, Richard Goodall, which is this middle-aged janitor who's been, working his whole life at an elementary school and just singing for the kids, was somebody recorded and put up on TikTok and ended up going viral. We saw it, our producer saw it, brought him on the show. He's never even been on a plane, and now his life has changed forever. I think and then to sit in the room and watch him sing live with Journey was not only his dream come true. You just go, wow! It's a wow moment. So I just look for all these wow moments, and it doesn't have to be music. It could be comedy. It could be magic. It could be contortion. It could be somebody getting kicked in their special parts. It doesn't matter. It's just like something that makes you say wow.
I love that. And I got to ask you, with everything that you're doing, what do you do for downtime? Or are some of these things outlets for you for downtime?
Downtime is stand-up comedy. I love stand-up comedy. I don't want to do nothing. Nothing is not good.
Yeah.
I don't like quiet. So I'm online either posting on TikTok or Instagram or scrolling through it. I don't have downtime. I don't want downtime. I think sleep is probably downtime. While you're up, send an audition to agtauditions.com.
Yes, and go and see the tour dates, howiemandel.com. Go to agtauditions.com and get your video in. And we have thank you to you, Howie, for these 3 front-of-the-line passes for AGT auditions. Howie Mandel, you're a legend. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
My pleasure.
Howie Mandel. I can't believe that he gave 3 passes to the front of the line for auditions.
That is crazy.
Like,
talk about generous.
I know.
Look at that.
So 3 of you right now can go to popcultureweekly.com and enter, if you think you have what it takes to compete in America's Got Talent, a huge show where so many big performers have come from that are literally playing, on stages across the country right now. Thanks to Howie Mandel, we have 3 front-of-the-line passes. 3 of you can get your chance to get to the front of the line to a producer for your very own audition for America's Got Talent. I can guarantee you an audition, which is pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about that. You can go to agtauditions.com to get more information, but head to popcultureweekly.com and enter the contest, and I guarantee you that 3 of you will get to the front of the line with producers. It's pretty wild. So, all right, that's our show for this episode.
Amazing. Amazing, yeah. Loved it. Recap 2024.
10 out of 10. I give it a 10 out of 10. But I give every episode a 10 out of 10. So. All right. So that's our episode for this week. I will see you next week. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I love you. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.